Greetings, fellow Rangers. Blaze Ranger here, and welcome back to episode 4 of my village series, Conquering Minecraft. And I want to start out. There's some editing that I've done that you haven't seen, mainly just to shorten up the episodes to not make them as long as they have been turning out to be. So I try to pare them down, get rid of all the kind of a lot of the stuff that it's boring and just time consuming. So I know you've probably seen a few little clips here and there of monsters that have been getting in my village, and I couldn't understand where it was coming from, where they were coming from. All of a sudden they just kept showing up. So what I did is, as I was editing the last video, I noticed something out of the corner of my eye that I hadn't seen before, and I have no idea how I missed it. But here, I want to show you a little bit of one of my previous clips that got edited out. So what I'm going to do really quick is just show you this clip. So here we are. This is a clip. You can see I'm just outside the village a little bit, and I was clipping some sheep, and I thought, oh, I'm going to bring these sheep in. So I chopped a little hole, got a little bit of the wheat to bring them in, and went out and got them. So here they come, and that's how I started off the sheep, is I just grabbed these two, and away I went. So didn't give it any thought, put them in the pen, started breeding them, moved on. But then, as I was going around one night, and I still didn't notice, look at that, I even paused and you can see it off to the left. So what you saw there is a gap in the fence that's just over there. So before we start this episode, I just want to fix that really quick. And I don't know how I ever missed it. Oh great, now I don't have any bits of fence? Boy, am I ever prepared, eh? That's what Merrick tells me, my friend from Florida. He says, well, you're Canadian. You say, oops, oh, I didn't water. You say A all the time. And I guess sometimes I do. What can I say? It's just part of my culture. So I'm just going to make a fence really quick. Oh, man. And whoa, one of those days. Oh, that's a gate. And this is why my episodes end up being so long. Where'd that come from? Okay, while I'm doing this, I want to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do today. What I want to talk about today, and there's two more things I want to discuss before we finish off this series on the village, is I want to discuss villager trading, and then I want to discuss kind of villager breeding. Not so much breeding that we do, but that they will do because of houses, like how many houses, what constitutes a house in Minecraft, and what will happen. I noticed the other night I mentioned about there was so many zombies and everything, and I did a little reading, and it says if you've got more than 20 doors and more than 10 villagers, you can have what's called a zombie siege, and it's just a lot more zombies, and they're just much more aggressive. So we're going to talk about that in the next episode, not this one. So I'm going to cut this short and sleep through the night, and then I'll be back and we will discuss villager trading. So see you in a couple minutes. Okay, that's enough of that foolishness. Now let's get down to the business at hand. Today we are going to talk about villagers. Well, for the rest of this episode, and hopefully I can do it in one episode, and hopefully it won't take me any longer, but if it does, it does. That's the way it goes. So we're going to talk about the 6 different kinds of villagers there are. There is the farmer, the librarian, the priest, the blacksmith, and the butcher. And each one of those types of professions are broken down into subgroups, or side professions, I guess you call it. I suppose there's an official word for it, I just don't know what it is. So the farmer actually has 4 professions. There's a farmer, a fisherman, a shepherd, and a fletcher. The librarian has, well, they only have one profession, and that's a librarian. The priest is the same. It only has one profession, and that's a cleric. The blacksmith falls into three categories: the armorer, the weaponsmith, and the toolsmith. And the butcher can be either the butcher or the leather worker. And you can tell them apart by the different color robes that they have. So when you see the white robe, you know it's a librarian, and they'll always have the same kinds of trades. The numbers will be different, but what they will trade for it will be different. And the currency that's used in Minecraft is emeralds. The sort of the one thing that really has no other purpose other than to make a beacon, but it's used for trading with villagers. You either pay them emeralds to get things, or they will give you emeralds for whatever you're going to give them. And the trades are based on the type of profession they have. So, but if you're counting, you notice I said there were 6 different types of villagers. So these are the main 5, and then the other type are zombie villagers. And I wish they really looked like this, but unfortunately I don't think they do. They might in a modded game, or they might in 1.9, but the ones I've seen, unfortunately, look like this. So that's a regular zombie villager. The way they become zombie villagers, as far as I know, is they're regular villagers, and then at night, if they're caught outside or they're beat up by a zombie, they can be either killed or converted into a zombie villager. And that's just the way that goes. So, now that you know that the 5 different types of villagers and the 5 professions, we're actually going to go and do a little bit of trading. And I've got one guy, you know, I have no idea why there's a chicken and a villager in that cauldron. I don't even know how he got in there. The chicken, I'm assuming, jumped up and fell in, but, well, he probably did the same thing. What a knucklehead. Anyways, I've got a friend of mine just standing over here, just waiting to do trades with me. And the reason I picked this guy is because he has one of the best and easiest types of trades to do. He is, let's just get this out of the way, he is the farmer. And I like the farmers because everything that you can trade with them is kind of renewable. Not everything, but most of it is. Because what he wants to trade is he will trade 18 wheat for an emerald, 18 potatoes, and these numbers vary. I'll show you a chart in a little bit. Like the potatoes vary anywhere from 15 to 19 per emerald. So you want the guy with the lowest number, but we're not really talking a huge, it's not like from 1 to 20 where there's that huge a difference. So these are the first 5 trades. They call them tiers. And when you trade with him, after a few seconds, after you've traded and gone out, he will allow you to make more trades for different things. Some of them only have 2 tiers, and some of them actually, one of them actually has 6 tiers. The librarian go up to 6 different levels, and each time they open a new tier, it gives you more trades. So if you remember a couple episodes when I found the first village, I did some trading of coal with one of the villagers there, because coal is it's a fairly common thing to trade. So what we're going to do with this guy, so if I come back in, he's still only got these first 4 trades. And so what we're going to do is, wow, that's really down. Anyways, boy, I get sidetracked easy. So we're going to do a little trading with this guy. So if we give him, I'll drop in 64, and 64, 18 and 64 goes 3 times with a few leftovers. So go 1, 2, 3. And I can actually keep trading with him, and he'll keep trading, and then eventually he'll say, no more. So what we'll do is we've still got the 4 tiers, but if we go out and see these little particles, the purple and green ones, that means he's satisfied with our trade and he's willing to make a few new trades. So if we go in here, we see the first 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now he's opened up tier 2 or level 2 of his trading. He's got some new trades for us. He'll trade 9 pumpkins for an emerald, or if you give him 1 emerald, he'll give you 3 pies. So it's not a bad deal. I mean, to make a pie, you got to find pumpkins and all these sorts of things. So this one isn't bad, but this is now we're at the end. So let's go back here. Let's just sort of max him out. What I'm doing is I hold down Shift and then click on the emerald, and it gives me the maximum amount of trades. And he says, no, sorry, no more, not doing any more. So I've got the 6 trades. So I go out. And then, because I've traded with him again, he's opened the next tier. Now you see I can trade more wheat. So let's put some in. Oh, just not enough. But we could start trading potatoes. I don't have a lot of potatoes, but I just want to see how much we can get from this guy. But we'll come back to that in a second. Okay, so he's opened these 2, and now he's got a new trade. If I give him melons, which I actually can make quite quickly, he'll give me emeralds. Or, oh, excuse me. Or, I can give him an emerald and he'll give me 5 red apples. The good thing about that trade is if you want golden apples and just can't seem to get any apples, this might be a quick way to do it. So we'll give him 1 and we'll get our 5 apples. That's not a bad deal. It just costs me wheat and potatoes, and they're pretty easy to come by. So now if we go out, there he goes. He's going to open up the last tier to us. This is tier 4, and the farmer has 4 tiers. So now we're going to get, we give him an emerald, we get 6 cookies, or we give him an emerald and we'll get a pie. Sorry, not a pie, a cake. And these are all the trades that a farmer can do. And like I say, these numbers will vary. What he'll trade and what he'll give you in return will vary. So this guy, we're going to actually get a lot of... And you hear the noise he makes? Oh, we didn't do it that time. Let's see, can we do any more? Okay, let's go out. And now we can come back in and resume trading. He's opened up his tiers again. Eventually, he'll reach his limit and he won't trade anything. Like we can max out probably the potato or the carrots. Let's see if we can hear him. No. Well, he's kind of there. He goes, That's the noise he makes. So let's just do this real quick. Oh, we got to do all 9. Okay, wait there. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Need a crafting table real quick. Okay, I guess it's not really quick. We'll just make... See, like I say, the nice thing about the farmer is most of this stuff is renewable. All I got to do is harvest it and... all of a sudden I got tons of melons. So let's go outside. Oh, it's getting night already? We'll let him go in a minute. I just wanted to keep the farmer because I like his trades the best. Because like I say, they're easy. All I have to do is grow stuff and he'll give me things. So we'll put there in and boom. So off this one guy, I've got 23 emeralds. And, okay, we'll let him out now, because I'm sure he wants to go. It's getting dark. See, he's opened up his tiers again, so the ones that were locked are now unlocked again. And each of them... Okay, oops. Oh, sorry, buddy. Oh, don't hit the villagers. That makes them mad. And if there's an iron golem around, oops, that's not good, because the iron golem will come after you. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So we're just gonna go inside and sleep, and then we'll resume again. We'll find a different guy. Actually, I'd like to find the librarian. And the librarian is the guy in the white robe. Oh, there he is right there. So what we're going to do is first one the librarian likes to trade is paper. I hope that wasn't him who just left. So we're just going to make some paper with our sugar cane. You spread it out like this. Oops. Oh, yeah, I guess you can. And we'll max him out. And don't make sugar. Okay, we got lots of paper. Do we have any books? I don't. I know I could take them out of the room here that has books. There's a library here, but I don't really want to do that. So we're just going to sleep really. Don't look at me when I'm sleeping, you guys. Man, no privacy whatsoever. So let's get rid of the axe out of our hands in case we accidentally hit him. So he's trading 30 paper for an emerald. So that means for each stack we throw in there, we'll get 2 emeralds. Paper's renewable. Oh, actually, let's just see what else he's doing. So that was, we got a bunch from him. Now the librarian's next level, he does, this is his first 2 levels. Must have changed according to the chart I have. He doesn't have, you don't have to trade emeralds. You'd get emeralds. Anyways. And I've noticed a few inconsistencies with what's in the game and what's on the wiki. And I'll send you a link at the bottom directly to the trading portion of the Villagers wiki. So here you can get a book of knockback. Give him 16 emeralds and 1 book and he'll turn it into an enchanted book of knockback. You can give him 9 books and get an emerald a compass. A compass would be good if you were lost, but chances are it's easier to find a compass. Like find some redstone and 4 pieces of iron to make a compass than to get all these emeralds. So if we can grab him before he runs away, let's see if we can get him to his next level. Where'd he go? There he is. I hope he's the same one. Oh! I'm not having a lot of luck with the poor villagers today. I didn't mean to hit him. Okay, so he's maxed out there. So let's see. Hey, I didn't mean to hit you, honest. Let's see if he's unlocked. It looks like I'm not going to give him 11, but he actually does a lot more. He'll give you a clock, or he'll give you his ultimate 6-tier trade is 20 to 22 emeralds for a name tag. So if you really want a name tag, that's the way to do it. This guy has one of the worst trades ever. Okay, 11 pieces of leather, or 12 pieces of leather for 1 emerald. Or if you've got 3 emeralds, he'll give you a pair of pants. But 3 emeralds would be 3 times 12 is 36 pieces of leather. You can make a pair of pants with 7 pieces. So it's a terrible trade. And his trades after that are a leather chest plate and a saddle. So if you really want a saddle, that's the way you can do it. You can just trade. If you've got a cow farm like this where you can just keep breeding them and killing them and getting the leather, that's probably a decent way to get a saddle, because the only other way is in chests located in desert monuments, or I think you can find them sometimes in spawners down in the ground if you're underground and you locate a spawner. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just throw up the chart that I have, and you can have a look at it. And let's... Okay, I'll show you. Here's the butcher's trades. You can actually come back and then pause this if you want. But there's one I want to talk about in particular. And that is the trades from the armorer. It's a hard word to say. Well, it's not hard, but it's just a weird word. He only has 4 levels, but the cool thing is, here, I'll pause, I'll stay on this one for a bit, is the armorer, if you notice, he will actually give you undamaged chainmail. And it takes a lot to get that. You need a minimum. If everything was the lowest trades possible, you'd need 7.5 stacks of coal 480 pieces of coal. The maximum is 960. So somewhere between that range, that's how much coal it's going to take just to start getting the emeralds. And then you got to start trading some of those emeralds to get them to advance to the next level. So you can get a lot of your emeralds from the farmer, who you can just grow what he needs, and then use them to trade with the blacksmith, who's the armorer, to get, if you really want chainmail, because then you can enchant it. So yeah, so like I say, you can pause on these if you want and just have a look, but there's a link below that goes directly to what all the trades are. And there are, like I say, I've seen a few that are a little bit different, but for the most part, it's pretty accurate. Each one, like I say, the librarian will always have the same trades, just different numbers. The priest, he likes zombie flesh. So if you've got a mob farm somewhere and you're getting zombies, you could actually accumulate quite a lot of zombie flesh. Oh right, that's why I was carrying that hoe. I must have jumped on this at one point. Oh, replant it. Oh, and you notice my jungle's trees grew. All I had to do was move the torches back one space. They were crowding it just a little. So I've got my four different types of trees. The only ones I'm missing are what am I missing? Taiga and acacia trees. But all my farms here are doing really well. Let's see what this guy's got. See, he's a butcher, so he'll give you raw meat. Well, for raw meat, he'll give you emeralds, and then let's see, butcher. He's only got 2 levels. Then for coal, he will give you an emerald, and then he'll give you cooked meat for emeralds. I don't know, like some of those, like this one here, to get cooked meat, you're trading emeralds, then you're paying him off with emeralds. You better just go find a couple pieces of wood, throw them in a furnace, and cook it yourself. But there's part of the fun of doing it, so let's see, I don't know. You can't trade with baby villagers. And these guys can max out eventually. And I don't know what else to say. Read the wiki. It's got a lot more information than what I've told you. It'll talk a bit about the behavior, some of the logistics behind it. Where'd that little guy come from? Oh, what a weird game. Anyways, I think that's about it for trading. I can't think of what else to say other than have a look. Have a look at a couple of the charts on what's available for trading. Figure out what you want to collect. Coal is always a good one to start with. And trade away. It's nice to have a village like this where I've got a good variety. I don't have all of the different villagers in here, but I've got enough that I can get a lot of emeralds. What did we get? We got 30 emeralds out of that. So it's a good start, and it's a fun thing to do. So I think that's going to be it for this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about breeding villagers, which will mean discussing what do you call them? Well, like it actually goes by doors, but you don't just throw doors up. We're actually going to expand the village. We're going to build more houses, and I'll talk about villager breeding, how it works, the basics of a door, and we'll carry on from there. So as always, thanks for tagging along.